Good evening, everyone. This is Sayed Siptan from the episode number 3 of Leadership Maestros from the page of Sydney Cricket League Incorporated. And today we have started our show at around 7 p.m. because we have a special guest in our studio today. And I'm wearing this jersey intentionally again that I got this one as a souvenir. But our today's guest, he is the one who got the opportunity. He's the luckiest one who donned this color for Pakistan Cricket Board, for Pakistan cricket team. So without wasting any time, and we are so thankful of our special guest that he has taken out the time on Sunday for the all the viewers of Sydney Cricket League Incorporated. So we have the former Test cricketer of Pakistan cricket team, the Test centurion on the Test debut, and currently he's the match referee in the elite panel of Pakistan Cricket Board, as well as he's the member of the cricket committee. Please welcome Mr. Ali Naqvi. Sir, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Amar, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for asking. And first of all, thank you so much for joining the page of Sydney Cricket League Incorporated and our episode number 3 of Leadership Maestros. And welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be here, Amar.
Thank you. Thanks for joining the Leadership Maestros episode number 3. I just want to add one thing over here to all the listeners, to all the viewers, that when we started this Sydney Cricket League Incorporated back in 2016, so Mr. Ali Naqvi was the first one who recorded the video for us. I asked him and like we are starting this league for the all the multicultural groups of Sydney, of New South Wales, and it's going to be cover all the players. So without wasting any time, and we are so thankful of Mr. Inakvi that he recorded the video back in 2016, and it is still in our records. So sir, how do you feel the progress, how do you see the progress of Sydney Cricket League? We started together back in 2016, and now we have come a long way in 2020. It's almost 4 years. You have seen, like, thank you so much, you are following the page as well since 2016. So how do you see that the progress of this cricket league in Sydney?
I think it's very encouraging. Anything as far as sports or healthy activities concerned, everybody should have to be backed these sorts of ventures which you have been doing from last 4 or 5 years or so. And I think बड़ा जबरदस्त भी जा रहा है वो because I have been following that you have started earlier. It wasn't that sort of. Famous, but recent past I have seen that many players are playing, and I especially it's very good for especially people like Pakistani who lives abroad. A very big opportunity for them because I had an experience in England. I have played about 17 years up there, and I started to play Asian League up there. I think that's what the concept is. So it's very good for the community based. People obviously being a Pakistani or any South Asian, you the cricket is in your blood, so whatever you are doing, it's a brilliant job and good for the community up there. Very healthy activity. Wish you all the luck.
Thank you so much. And the good thing about Australia and the good thing about Sydney is that it has been, comprises of all the like all the people from subcontinent, from obviously Australians, and then India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Bangladesh. So this is our motto at that time. I discussed with you back in 2016 as well, that to bring all of them in at one platform through the Sydney Cricket League Incorporated, and we are, like, Alhamdulillah, we are doing a good job at the moment, and hopefully it will continue. So we will go directly jump into to the questions which we have in the box for you today. And I would start with, like, with the name of the show, as you have seen, that it's Leadership Maestros, that whoever are the leaders in their fields, same like you, that you have been, like, you have a phenomenal career in cricket. So I just want to, like, if you want to put some light on the difference between the ordinary captain and the leader, like, how do you differentiate this thing? Because leader is the one, as you believe that cricket is not a single man's game, it's like a game of 11 players playing in the field, but still at the end of the day it's leadership that counts. So how do you differentiate that's the ordinary captain and the leader?
I think as far as cricket is concerned, Amar, definitely leadership needs very much in that sort of game. You know, especially in cricket, if we see like other team game like football, hockey, we have got captains there or sort of leaders there, but their role is very sort of minimized. You know, but in cricket, I believe that when you are in the ring, the captain is he have to be act like a leader and. It's not easy if to pick a captain who's a leader. I think that's a mentor's job. Those who are around the team or those who have been more, I think, senior or have played more cricket, they can be sort of leader. And as a captain, it's not an easy thing in cricket because you need respect from the team because they are the one your troops. They have to follow your things, whatever plan is it, and so that's where I think leadership is count, where you need to be a very good communicator. It's not about the cricketing skills. You are a very good batsman, you are a very good bowler, but when it's come to leadership or when it comes to the captaincy, I believe that you have to be a very good communicator and a very holding a very good body language, and that's where leadership. Like if, for example, Imran Khan. I
Exactly.
can, exactly give you the example that he was not only the captain, he's not only the, make the formations of the team, but he knows all his players, their, lifestyles, and that is in contemporary cricket, Amar, you need to find out the lifestyle of the players, and I think that is the leadership quality, that who likes what, who wants to listen adversely or politely, and that's what differentiate needed to be done by the captain or a leader. But if your question was the captain, obviously you have to make one person who gonna sort all the things out, talking with the match officials and going for the toss and selecting the team. That is captain. But leadership is how to motivate, how to mentor the team. I think that is the difference as far as captaincy and the leadership is concerned. As a captain, you just make the formation of the team or situationally handle in the team. But as far as leader is concerned, the leaders do more homework than the captain. Captain is just on the ground. If we got any situations and stuff, he gonna help us there, or maybe getting some advices from the seniors in the ground. But to become a leader, definitely your goal is sort of a bit different than the captain. In a captain's role, you just wanted to win the match, but that's how you plan. But as a leader, you need to groom the players to the next extent to become they can become a captain or they can become a leader. That's what I think, in my personal view, that leadership is more than the captaincy, because if captaincy is only in the ground, but leadership can be very fruitful after the ground, in the hotel, or while you're traveling, or especially I think leader is the best counselor, he's the best mentor.
Exactly, and thank you so much. Like you have put a very excellent points on this topic, the difference between ordinary captain and the leader, and an excellent example of Mr. Imran Khan. That this is our today's topic as well. That role models create leaders. So I think what our prime minister has done is like that. He has created one generation because he was the role model in that era, and he created one generation. And this is how we're going to discuss in our episode today, that how the role models create different leaders and how they create the generations, upcoming generations, not only in sports, not only in cricket, but overall, if you see as a country as a whole. So before, like, moving to my next question, as I told everyone, all the viewers of Sydney Cricket League at the start of the show, that I'm intentionally wearing this jumper of Pakistan cricket team, that because I got it as a souvenir from someone. But you are the one, you experienced that, and you know that what should I say, that it's a dream come true for you, and it's a topping on the cake, that to making a century on a debut, like to start a career, to have a test career and to make a test debut, it's always a dream come true, but making a century is, I like, the cherry on the top. So do you want to put some light on that? I was 10 years old back in, no, sorry, yeah, it was. Exactly. And I still remember your inning, but I want, like, everyone from Sydney Cricket League want to hear from you that what was the atmosphere, what was the experience in that ground, very moment.
Well, as you said, definitely it's a dream come true, and I didn't thought in my life that I'm going to be a Test cricketer. In all my family, Amar, nobody had played professionally, cricket, especially even not in any sport. I believe that whole the family is more of a literacy or working around an organization. So I was the only one actually. It's just a passion, I believe. I had a passion, and I was just like that. There is no some aliens gonna come and play the cricket. It's the human, so why don't I try, and I should, so it was definitely coming back to your question regarding the dream come true. Obviously it was it's a lot of things behind that. I mean, to start with, I'm typical street cricketer, to be honest. At first I was not created by the system. As you know, we didn't had a sort of very good system in past, as far as contemporary things are concerned about cricket. But I think it's your passion, it's your how serious you are with your goal, or whatever your aim is. So I think to start with, that was the thing. And obviously my family supported all over. Still they are supporting, I mean, because they know that's my passion. And obviously it's my living these days as well, being a professional cricketer, working in different capacity for PCB. But obviously coming back to the century on test debut, which was I wasn't asking that much, Amar. I was like, I had a tour to Pakistan, to England back in 1997, where we were playing against the counties, all the first class games and one days, and I had a very good show there. That sort of ladder, I'm just talking that was the ladder actually who put me through there. I came back and I was announced in the side game against South Africa. They were touring in 1997, so I was because of my performances back in the tour of England. So they have put me in the chance, and that was a very lucky game for me. In the first inning, we all out 131. Amir Sohail was our captain, and I scored 61 in that inning. In the second inning, I got a century. Interestingly, I want to share one thing. When I was batting about on 70 something, we were playing against South Africa at National Stadium, Karachi, and one of our substitute, he came with a towel and some Lucozade or stuff, and he was just like, running in from the bloody 80 meters to me, and he was like, Ali, you were announced in the test match. And I was like, these were the things, which you want to hear, so that was the noise came in my ear that, oh, I was selected. Namar, I was batting at that time.
Oh,
So
really? Yeah.
so much, yeah, so much confidence I got it there when he said to me that we just had a news that you have been announced in the test squad. And my confidence levels, like that I was just one step away from my dream actually. And in that inning, I still believe personally that when I got that news, and I was so confident after that. If you remember Paul Adam, he was a bit of unorthodox left arm
Yeah.
Chinaman
Sorry.
bowler from South Africa, and he was bowling at that time, and I just put him three boundaries in first three balls. That's sort of sparks you these sorts of news. And after that, I was, after 2 days, I was traveling to Pindi to play a test match. I wasn't sure that I was selected in the squad, but I wasn't sure that I was going to be part of the first 11, because if you remember that we had a very top class pair of openers like Amir Sohail and Saeed Anwar, and they both were there. And just I was a bit more lucky as well at that time, because Amir Suhail has got some injury in the wrist and he was out for couple of weeks. So that's where I thought in my mind, when tomorrow I've got to play the test match, and I thought that I might be in, because I can see only Saeed Anwar, he was there. And literally we had a dinner before the test match, and they've announced me that you're going to be playing tomorrow. And I was like, uh, well, it was all 20 years behind that, and thinking. And Amar, I couldn't sleep that night, to be honest. I was playing a test match, and I slept at about 6 in the morning. And at about 8 o'clock, we left the hotel for the ground, and I couldn't sleep. We went to the ground, we had some training and stuff, and it's a different atmosphere when you play a test match. It's a different sort of a world there, and I was definitely nerves was around, and I was a bit, sort of shivering that I have to play, Anil Donald, and there was
Sean Pollard,
it was.
Alan Donald, yeah.
Yeah, Sean Fuller, Pat Simcox, Jack Scalise, they were all there at that time as well. And uh, when the Said Anwar went for the toss and he came back and he said, Ali, pad up, we are batting. And it was like, I can't control my heartbeat, at the time. You're playing your first game and straight away you are going to face Alan Dolan in a test match at your home, sort of ground and crowd. And yeah, it was amazing and went in. And definitely it's good thing from young to tell to the youngsters as well. The method or the technique you absorb or you have, and that's how you are performing, so never change that thing. And that's what one of my coaches had said to me earlier: don't watch the bowler, watch the ball. If you're thinking that Alan Donald is bowling, then you're going to be in a different frame of mind. Just watch the ball, don't bother who's bowling. So that really helps me. And I just went in, and by grace of almighty, I was so happy that I got the test cap, Amar, to be honest. I wasn't thinking about making 10 runs, 20, 40, 50, whatever. That's, as you said, icing on the cake. That was to score, to get a test cap I mean, I can't explain that. And after that, when you coming back in the changing room, scoring 115 on debut. So definitely it was one of the biggest achievement for my career as far as, my career is concerned. But I think it's all about the passion. It's all about the hard work you do, and it's you have to be isolated. To be honest, you have to be just thinking about cricket if you want to become, a professional or go to that level. So I think it was passion behind that. It was hard work behind that, and it was only cricket actually. There was no plan B for there. So I've just burn all my boats there, and I have to, if you have to pick the career which which you are passionate about, then definitely you have to leave all the other things, which is not easy to actually ignore. But that's how become a star or a performer, or to become an international cricketer. I think it's more of a passion and the hard work.
Exactly, and I would rate definitely. I must say that I would rate your century, the century on the Test debut, on the top of the ladder, because I still remember that game on the day one. It was completely jam packed. There was crowd in the Rawalpindi, and it was not like that you were playing in the empty stadium like what we have seen in the last 10 years in UAE, that without the spectators. But it's always difficult to score, to play and then score a century in front of a full capacity crowd in Rawalpindi, and they were making the noise when you scored the century. So, hats off to you. Like it's like it requires a lot of guts, a lot of training, and as you said that you have to be in the isolation, you have to focus on your career, and like I still see the passion on your face that the like back in 1996, 97, I can see that. So congratulations for that, to achieving your dream to score a century. Moving on to the next question, as I will continue with this legacy, what you just told to all the viewers of Sydney Cricket League, that what's your piece of advice to all the budding players of Sydney Cricket League Incorporated? Like, I just want to mention one thing over here, that from last 1 year, what we have changed our format. Earlier, it was Group A and Group B of all the two top teams, but now we have made the Group C, which is Division Two. What we are doing in Division Two? What are the teams, like the players who are budding players who are just learning the game, learning the tricks of the trade? So we have made the Group C as well. So what we do, the champions of that Group C, the winners of Group C, the Division Two winners, they directly jump into Division One, Group A and B. So any advice, any piece of advice for them in terms of leadership as a player, that how they can grow their game, and ultimately they will play for the Premier Cricket New South Wales or Cricket Australia, the Premier Cricket. What's your ultimate advice?
I think well, that's what I've said earlier personally, that it's all the passion, passion creates opportunities, and that's where for the the people who are new in the cricket, or you know first of all they need to be very very precise on what they want, why they are playing cricket. Two things: one is you like to play cricket, as being a culture, as you said, you have got many Asian communities up there, and obviously they have got only one thing to enjoy, it's cricket. And the other thing is somebody like myself, or main thing, I think first of all the budding cricketers need to be supervised by somebody who's experienced, who had played some cricket, because that's mentoring, and sort of one senior person around you who have done all that. It's very influential. I believe that that can help, which books cannot help, which practice cannot help. The mentor can help that, because he have been a part of these things, and he have seen those situation, handled those pressure. So I think you need to get somebody. I saw one picture of with you of Lahore Qalandar, that Salman Irshad, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
So you
yes,
need these sorts of Mar, you need these sorts of players to be giving lecture to your budding players, and that can be very helpful. As for my advice is to definitely play cricket and see the world. That's what I say to everybody. But your passion, and first of all you have to realize your method. The problem is everywhere,
exactly.
in like in England, I have been coaching for last 10 years or so. I've been part of English cricket board for Chance to Shine, to
Wow.
yeah, so it was mainly year 9, 10, quite a young team, girls and boys as well. So that's where you need to be make sure that the guys who are playing in their early stages, if their bowling method or their batsman, their batting method, that need to be very accurate, and because from there you're going to be establishing yourself. Once the base is good or the technique is good, then obviously you're going to flourish, or you're going to improve much. So that's where I think you need to be, all the boys need to be very precise with their technique. I know, but everybody wants to play white ball cricket, hitting all over, and not
Yes,
bother about the method or
yes,
technique,
yes,
or the thing. Even on good balls you can hit a six with the white ball, like a shortest version, if we talk about. So there's not much for the bowlers. He bowled the good ball and you just slog it away and it went for six or flop. But that is other thing. But for me, the advice is to learn the basics, learns the technique, because if you become a good player of a longer version, automatically, Amar, you will be good player of any shortest version. But if you are a specialist of shortest version, you're gonna struggle, because in shortest version technique is not much involved in there. It's more of a gallery cricket. You just come in and hit around. You can't play technique as well there, because obviously if you stop four balls, your captain might be shouting from outside that we have got 2 overs left and we are chasing 30 runs or so. So these sorts of scenarios I know, but not in the cricket. While they are playing Sydney Cricket League, obviously they play under the formation or under the situation what is provided. But personally, as a solo practice, or in individually, they should I think learn to improve their technique. Once your base is strong, when your technique or your method, and that's the point, your method should be very accurate from the beginning, because that will take you to the highest level. It's your method, because you can play 3 4 shots to an ordinary bowler, no problem. But when you're coming to face some international stuff or some very good bowler, they won't allow you to hit four boundaries, so you have to be precise with one or two shots. So that's where you need to be very strong, very patient about your game, and your method, your weaknesses, or you have got your plan B. So I think the method is the most important thing as far as the young cricket is concerned, and that need to be seen by somebody that, as I said earlier, that like you had Salman Irshad, mostly other people around in Australia. I hope you will get them like ex-Australian cricketer or somebody who has played first class cricket. These are the best person who can be advising to the players, and that's how you get respect, and that's how the players listen to you when you introduce yourself that I have played 100 plus first class games. So definitely it's automatically they will get the respect from you, and they will ask questions. And that's where I think the role models can play part in every part of cricket, and especially for the youngster, it's about their passion, and they need to be very, very honest with their passion as well. It's not like cricket. If you want to become a professional cricketer, definitely you have to be isolate from other things and concentrate and what have been told by the mentors or the senior players. You have to follow that, and I think it's more of a personal goal. Without goal, if you are playing, that's my personal thing. If without goal you are playing, you are ending up nowhere, because you are just playing for fun. You're playing for time pass. You playing for to spend time with the friends. That is a different cricket. But if we talk professionally, or if you want to become a professional cricketer, you have to be very honest, very serious, and like what I said earlier, that the method should be, technique should be the first thing to sort out, that he's got the basic technique, and then after that you can improve his skills from there. If he haven't got a holding a bat properly, or standing properly, or playing the ball bit early, or no balance, that's not the point. You are just playing cricket. You need to sort those things first out, and then gradually you can improve that.
Definitely, like this is what we have learned from you, that it's like it's all about method and technique, and then moving forward. But and your passion will take you to some extent, but your method and technique will take you to a long way. And thank you so much for putting some light on this one. Moving on to the next question, there is a one very famous saying in Urdu or Hindi. पढ़ोगे लिखोगे बनोगे नवाब खेलोगे कूदोगे बनोगे खराब. So I would translate this one for all the English viewers or for all the Australian viewers, that if you're going to study hard, then you would become like, you would achieve everything in the life, but if you're going towards sports, then you will go nowhere. So my question based on this thing, like cricket as a career, good or bad choice for next generation kids? We have seen that in Australian culture, in Australia, the parents, they focus more on the sports for the kids if they are very much interested. I'm talking about both the scenarios, like from the Pakistan perspective, from Asian perspective. What do you think about now cricket as a career for the young generation kids? It's a good choice or a bad choice? Do you still think that if they're going to play cricket, and as I just mentioned, this famous quotation, like it was very much embedded in us back in subcontinent? So what's your thought in this one?
Well, it's almost finished from this continent now. Now people are putting their kids into the ground. Obviously, it's a brilliant career, but when you're getting a brilliant career, it won't be it's just a pick and go thing. It needs loads of things which we had discussed earlier in the previous question. I think, but I think it's sort of a gamble, because yeah, definitely, because definitely, as you quote one thing in subcontinent, they say that if you go to schools and colleges, you will become a big man. If you go to grounds, you just end up in the ground, and it's not like that now. But I think it's not the easy picking thing, to be honest. What again gonna say the same thing, that you need to be supervised by some ex-test cricketer, ex-international, or minimum first class cricketer, who can advise you, who can put you in. For example, if I say that I was just a street cricketer, I used to play at my street outside my home in Karachi earlier days, and that's why I'm saying this thing. One of ex Karachi first class cricketer used to come and play with us. He was my elder brother's friend, and he saw me playing there, and he was saying like, why don't you put him in some sort of academy or some cricket club, proper cricket ball club. Like I've seen that he's got some technique. He can, if he work hard, he might be better player or this and that. But I didn't had any clue how to go for further. I was very happy to be a best player in my street. I didn't know about what happened out of there. So that's where I didn't choose even that career as well, but uh, by the recommendation of ex first class player, that you looks good, you got good technique and stuff. So I went to the cricket club and playing many games and scoring loads of runs and learn as well there. At that time I realized, listening from other people, or there are some rumors around that Ali can bat and he can be future, or he can play international cricket. That's what actually made my confidence so high, that I thought that if these players are saying, and obviously I used to play and score runs, so I thought that that's what you need. So somebody told me your technique is good, your balance is good, and I didn't read in the book that how to stand and blah blah blah, but I've been told by the mentors or ex players. So that's why I'm saying they are very important people around you. You need your teacher in every aspect of the life, uh, so that time I thought that I should take that and career. But I still believe that if I recommend somebody to become a cricket player, or excel in this sport, I think he need to be sorted before he should take it seriously, or working on that cricket field, that he need to be guided by somebody who had played some highest level of cricket, or by I mean these days Amar, people's sending videos and loads of
Yeah.
opportunities these days. Not up. If you can send me any video that Ali, can you just see him and tell us what where he's standing, or what he needs to be sorted, or what he have got good or bad, so I can definitely tell you that. And that's what I didn't had.
Yeah,
I
true,
was
true.
just had that, oh, you can bad, you can go. And so I didn't had these sorts at that time, back in about 21 years, we didn't had any system like we had coaches and stuff these days. So I think very good opportunity for the boys these days. They should definitely try this as a career, but it won't be easy. You know, in like Pakistan, if there are, thousands of people, only 11 players have to be selected. But it's passion, it's goal. My personally think that you get one life, Mar, so you just try to make it best of it. So that's what I was thinking earlier, and when I've achieved that, now my next goal is to become an inshallah ICC elite panel match referee. So if you have got goals, if you have got sort of aims, you still, like you said, your passion is like 20 years back. Certainly, you are very right. My passion is still there for cricket. I didn't try to choose anything else. It's a good money, good reputation. You are, world famous, and you've got good name. People around you feel proud of you. So that's what definitely. But it takes a loads of hard work, and loads of skills, and loads of luck as well. It's not just everybody. Like I said, I was the good one who get a chance in the team, and I score 100 on a test debut. There were other players, but that's why I'm saying you need a luck as well. But luck come from your belief, your confidence.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
definitely, it's not an easy peasy, career that you can say, "Oh, I want to become an international player." Especially in lights of where you live, there's a very good system running from last many years, and they have produced outclass cricketers, and they have some similar method but different attitude. So I think loads of things. It's not an easy career, but definitely so many pleasure and perks and privileges in this. So you have to be very precise and very very serious about this. It's not like you are graduating from the university, getting a job, or becoming a doctor. Everything is difficult. It's not, but I think in cricket you need to be a naturally something which we say God gifted. Like for example, I can give my example. I was playing at the street. Somebody says, "Oh, he's got a very good technique," and at that time I didn't know, Amar, what was technique is all about. I know the bat and the ball and playing. So that's you need somebody who can advise you, who had played at top level, and who can advise you that you can do that if you get serious and stuff. Then it is a brilliant career. There is the, I don't think it's second to none, to be honest. It's not
Exactly.
cricket, in any sport career is definitely it's the best thing. But I think it's need loads of hard work, loads of dedication, determination than the other things.
Yeah, we will take two different points from this discussion. That It's not an easy walk. It's not an easy walk to become an international cricketer, but you need a solid mentorship to have a to all your bases covered. So moving on to the next question, and thank you so much once again for your valuable time. Moving on to the next question, I just want to ask that how do you see the Australian cricket culture? Five times, ODI champions and best ever Test team until now. If you see since the start of Test cricket back in 1877, and five times ODI champions, we are still not the champions in T20 at the moment, the Australians. But if World Cup going to happen this year in October in 2020, so Australia is looking good. So what do you see that what's the different method they have done, like the Australian cricket culture, to become the most successful team in the history of cricket here?
I think that's what I said earlier that similar methods, similar techniques, but it's different body language. As far as Australia is concerned, what I've felt or I have seen, I've played against a few Australian as well. Stewart McGill, I remember he was a leg spinner of Australia. Didn't play much because obviously with Shane Warne and Lightsaw, but I played. He was playing for Somerset County back in the '97 when we had a tour on. Damien Martin used to play with me in Durham Cricket Senior League up in the UK. So definitely, that's it's not about that's the top player I'm talking. I had some, ex Shield players, your state first class players playing in UK with me. So I've seen the collective. I think the approach was they are very aggressive. That's sort of positive aggressive. They haven't. Uh, should I describe you in two words? Like rest of the world play sort of situational cricket. But if you come to talk about the Australian, they play conditional cricket. If they have got four wickets down or scoring 20 runs, the fifth batsman gonna come. If he sees the ball, it's wide or short, he definitely gonna go for the cut shot or pull shot.
Yeah,
Compared to other countries, if they have got four wicket downs, definitely they're gonna leave the ball. Or message sent by the management that we have already lost a few wickets, so just stick in and don't try to play short, just be defensive. So I think it's more of their a concentration level, and they're bit fair. They play fearless cricket. Obviously there's loads of hard work behind that, and obviously the other thing is if you see the demographics and the soil, obviously, which it's now a bit better because everybody's preparing ICC standard pitches, but Australia had got a very good bounce that helps the batsmen as well and for the bowlers as well. So I think that's where they were used to face sort of ferocious bowling or short bowling or stuff. So the conditions help them as well, and they help themselves as well. But conditionally, I think Australia is very lucky that they produce so many hard pitches like Waka. I remember it used to be a bounce every time you can smell the leather. So if you are playing at the club level, being a youngster on those sort of standard of pitches, definitely the difficult thing for a batsman in cricket is to play a fast bowler. And when you are used to these sorts of condition or the bounce or the pace, and definitely, and the criteria, sort of theme is as far as Australia cricket is concerned, their body language sometimes they bit get sort of naughty as well, as far as I think it's a good thing in cricket as well. But I think that's the passion, or that's the sort of bravery they have got. That difference, obviously, the technique is other countries have got so many top class players, same as Australia have done. But I haven't seen them that they are backing away from fast bowler, or they are look tired in the field even they are losing. So I think they're very strong in posture and very passionate. And the best thing is they play fearless cricket as far as batting is concerned, and they play condition cricket, which is very good. It's not easy conditionally. You've got four wickets down because situation says just go. And but if you feel a bit scary, you get more down. So I think that's very positive, and that's, I think, the difference between the Australia and the rest of the world. I mean, it's getting a bit closer to Australia every team now these days,
yeah,
because the pitches has come almost the even Steven. But I think because of, like I said, that like Greg Chappell, Alan Border, you have got so many mentors, and they're excuse me, their sort of experiences pass on to Ricky Ponting or Shane Warne or McGrath or Bradley. So it's a ladder of superstars coming. And definitely, like I said earlier, that is the best thing. That's the best opportunity for the youngsters, or even players like coming in Australia. Everybody, come into the test side, and they don't feel that they are playing a test match. For us, like in first class cricket, we haven't got much ground, but when you come to the test cricket, you're playing a test match, you will be surprised that, oh my
Definitely.
god, where I am. So I think they are used because of the system. Australia have got state cricket, Div 1, Div 2, and they're used to face the crowds, camera, interviewing and stuff. If compared to Pakistan, it's just it's getting very good these days from last 10 years or so, but earlier it was very quiet. And in first class cricket you don't get many crowds. So I think it's not about the good player, it's about the perform in the crowd. Because if, like me and you, we both got same skills, Amar, but when it's come to the cameras, crowd and pressure, who gonna perform there? Those who
Yeah.
got control on the nerves, who got more passionate, who's got more body language, or who's got the passion or aim to become to the next level. I think that's what difference. And Australian body language, I think everything is very good. People are learning from them, and they had actually adopt these things from Australian from recent past. And before that, when likes of Greg Chappell and all the legends used to play, and they were similar sort of attitude still coming to the Australian team.
Exactly, and I definitely agree with you about closing the gap. Now most of the teams have just marginalized that gap between Australia and the other teams. Maybe I would definitely say that you already mentioned at the start of the show that because of the mentorship, because most of the Australians are going to the different parts of the world and they are doing the mentorship, and the other people from England and from other, as you have played county cricket for more than 17 years, so these players are going like they're moving around all over the world now. So the all players are getting the similar exposure, similar mentorship. I have one, like we have the Sydney Cricket League Incorporated. We have one of our mentors. He's the president of Fairfield Liverpool Cricket Association, Peter Moore. He used to say like this thing that 80% cricket is being played from the mind and 20% you are physical in the ground. So most probably, I would say it's like more of a mental strength, like mind games. Like Australians are very good into the like they're mentally they are very strong as compared to the other parts of the world. Maybe maybe I'm wrong. What's your thought on this?
Uh, no, you're not wrong. It's obviously you have to be mentally very strong to excel at that level, and it's not Australia. Everybody at as far as top cricket is concerned, everybody have to. But I'm slightly disagree with 80% mental. I think it's about 50-50. It's about your mental and your physical, both thing. I think what we say in cricket is your brain and it's your heart. Your brain
Yeah.
says you have to, that applies you to be a very sort of a basics and stuff. But if you don't have a heart, you can't play a shot, won't be aggressive. As far as, especially if I can give you the example of Australian culture, the way they play cricket, it's 50-50. Because that's what I said earlier. When you play situationally, when you think from the brain,
Yes.
and when you play sort of aggressively, when you have got both of things working together, it's not like only brain, because brains thinks that, oh, if I play this shot, I'm gonna get out. But heart says no, you have to play, you have to score runs. So I think it's even Steven. You need both of thing, and obviously you have to be fit enough to do that. If you are, that's I think I can add on to the budding cricketers that as long as you get fitness, these days fitness is mandatory. And fitness, like in our days,
Yes.
actually we didn't had sort of fitness culture. But I remember that if I score 100 runs, if I have been doing fitness or gym or yo-yo or bleep or endurance, loads of drills these days around, so I definitely, I think I can score 160 runs. So because when you are physically tired, then you are mentally tired. So if you're mentally very fresh and physically you are tired, your body won't respond. And this is a body game, Amar. So
Yes.
that's where you need to be sort your body out first. Obviously, running around. There are so many these days on internet. You can find whatever muscle you want to improve. They can tell you. So I think that is mandatory, and that can excel you to perform big.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. Uh, we discussed like we asked you for 30 minutes, but our show has been now for more than 44 minutes. I really enjoying this chat actually, because learning a lot of things from you, and thank you so much for your valuable time. Just quickly before we wrap up this show, uh, my last two questions. Yes, exactly. One is your journey from cricketer to be in the elite panel of PCB as a match referee, and we wish you very good luck for your future endeavors. That we would definitely see you very soon in ICC match referee panel, and definitely would visit Australia and then the Sydney Cricket League as well. So what's your do you want to put some light on this journey from cricketer to the match referee thing, the elite panel of PCB?
Well, it wasn't actually planned, to be honest. Obviously, cricket, I planned it. And after that, I was involved with the Pakistan Junior Selection Committee and Pakistan women's team I used to select. I was the selector of those two, and a bit of, sort of expert commentary. I was just looking that what should I pick after cricket. Obviously, I was a coach of KRL, which is a first class team, and loads of player. I mean, Misbah Ulaq, Saeed Ajmal, Azhar Ali, Muhammad Asif, Yasir Arfat, Shoaib Akhtar. We all used to play together. So at that time it was fine. So it wasn't easy because being a selector, it's not a career. You can do that job for making teams and stuff, but that won't teach you anything more than I know it's my eye. I can pick the player who can play at this level. I can select that, but I thought that. What was missing from Pakistan cricket is at international at ICC level we didn't had anybody who's representing a elite panel match referee, and the condition to become an ICC match referee, you have to be a test cricketer. So I thought that I've got one thing in my bag, and it's all about the the laws and the playing conditions and code of conduct. So cricket is not just a bat and ball game. It's got so much. Definitely, cricket play by people thinks they play by over. It's played by the time. Cricket is obviously it's the time is money in cricket and loads of things. So I thought that this is the one. I'll still be in the ground. What my passion is still to watch cricket at top level, and it's being a more privileged job that you are the boss of all the team managements, the venue and the security and even umpire. I have to report all of them. That's what
Yeah,
the referee does at the top level. And obviously it's a bit of a you have to be a bit of sort of a judicial work as well. If somebody do show some dissent against the umpire, you have to charge
yeah,
him, or somebody is late bowling overs, so many things, some verbal abuses, some physical contact, loads of things to make sure. It's not an easy job, but that's what I said, that I have got only I thought, how I gonna play again test match. Obviously there's no veteran test cricket these days, so I thought that it's the only way to become a test umpire or a test referee, or to go into the test match. So I thought that why I should choose this career. It's a very financially it's very good, and plus obviously it's good for me and for my country, that somebody from
but
Pakistan who represent ICC in elite panel. So
yeah.
that's what hopefully in a few months I will be there in ICC, and definitely few more time I will be in elite panel. So that was the reason actually, Amar, because coaching I find it very uh, sort of not thankless, but it's very confusing. You tell all the things to the players, and if he didn't perform, then coach is the responsible and stuff. But I still enjoy that because I have been with the coaches, so I know how to do that. But I thought to think bit different. Mostly people, the cricketers, when they retire, they go to the coaching stuff or make their own academies, or sort of some a YouTube thing or other things. So I thought it's just my personal that I thought that I should go this side, because the other side you have got loads of cricketers around. Whoever played cricket, he's a natural coach. So I thought that I should do something different. So that's the reason to become a referee.
No, definitely, it's an excellent choice. And my last question before we just finish this episode number 3, role models create leaders. My last question is like, as you have seen that Sydney Cricket League is a uh, community-based cricket tournament, community-based cricket league. So, how do you see the standard of community-based cricket in Pakistan? Like, do you think that if we put some money, if we put some structure into this community-based cricket in Pakistan, we would definitely see some good players in future for Pakistan Cricket Board? Like, how's the standard? How do you rate the standard over there?
Well, standard is no doubt is the brilliant because we have got Amar so much talent, natural talent. That's what I say when you talk with the budding cricketers or you see the budding cricketers, you see their ability, natural ability. If they have got that, then you definitely support them that they can, excel at that level. It's not much community-based cricket here. It's obviously we this one community lives in Pakistan, and mostly they love cricket as you've been part of you have lived your life in Pakistan as well. You have seen that wherever in the village or street or city, wherever you go, you find just one thing, is cricket. So I think it's brilliant these days if we compare to earlier that we didn't had facilities regarding the indoors or bowling machine or whatever contemporary cricket demands are. But these from last I think 3 or 4 years or maybe 5 6 years we have been coming to the contemporary stuff. A shame that at the moment with this COVID pandemic we didn't had any sort of cricket from. I was witness of I was doing all the games of PSL, watching as well, being a member of the cricket committee, and it was brilliant, Amar. It was I hope you have seen that. It's all packed and everybody was enjoying. So there is a culture, no doubt. You don't have to make a culture. I think what is needed definitely is more infrastructure, which we have, and definitely these days it's getting better and better. So I think it's so much cricket. I mean, it's if you go to the ground, you say see cricket. If you come in the house, you're gonna play in the house. If you're going to, but even runway, I add you. I just live about there was an old airport in Lahore called Walton Airport, and that has been closed and it's only flying club, but you still got the runway. And can you believe, even it's Sunday today? I mean, every day is Sunday these days. But what they do, I mean, they're not allowed to play. Otherwise, if you go to that runway, you can easily count more than 5K, 6K people around playing in one sort of runway. So passion is there. It's a brilliant thing. Hats off to you guys, obviously, because here everybody got these things available, but in countries like Australia or England where people do that community cricket because they understand their community, they know that the cricket is in their heart, and to organize that and to give them a stage, I think that is very good job you are doing, and everybody obviously enjoy that. I've been following you guys from last 4 or 5 years. It's getting better and better, and good luck with that. Obviously, if I can be in help in that, I won't mind it. Or if I come to, I had a plan to come to my one of my very good friend lives in both they are doctors actually, and they have sent me all the things, but I was just afraid that I think it's 14 15 hours flight from Pakistan.
From Pakistan, it would take you around 18 hours. Like, you have to do transit in Dubai or maybe Bangkok, so it's like 18 hours in total. So yes, it's a
Yeah,
long.
Amar, that was. Yeah, that was actually the reason to refuse that. And being alone, I thought that I couldn't be traveling for bloody 15 or 16 hours to go there. Otherwise, I could come and see the structure. But I still appreciate the people who, run the cricket because they know their community. They know it's not about Pakistan community. It's if you talk about Indian or Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, we are all same sort of as far as joined by the one thing is cricket, and especially organizing that in so far away from your native countries, it's a very good achievement, and wish you very best of luck. And it's good for the community based people there. So I hope there's loads of Pakistani and Indians around there, and definitely somebody needs to step up like you did for Sydney Cricket League, and provided excellent sort of facilities and passion or good fun to because they have it's all in their blood, and when you provide them with the venues and organize on the things, so that's icing on the cake. Good luck with that, mate. Good.
Thank you so much. And it was not possible with the support of people like you, with the sponsors and the different partners. So we are trying our best to do whatever we can do best in our capacities to for all the communities. But before finishing off the show, thank you so much for your valuable and precious time and for joining the show and joining the episode number 3 of Leadership Maestros. And we wish you best of luck for the ICC panel, match referee panel, for your and your future endeavors. And we would love to see you in Australia very soon. And we would be have some mentoring session for maybe 30-45 minutes with all the players of Sydney Cricket League Incorporated. But once again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mar. Lots of thanks, mate. Khuda
Thank you.
Hafiz.
Thank you. Thank you, Khuda Hafiz.